Unstoppable kick-ass confidence. Are you ready?
Welcome to the Raw and Unscripted show with Christopher Rausch, where we help you overcome your self-created crap without the self-help fluffy bullshit. Now please welcome our host, Christopher Rausch.
Da-na-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-da-na-na. And please welcome our host, Christopher Rausch. What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome to another Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, your place for the Raw and Unscripted show with yours truly, Christopher Rausch, the place where I help you overcome your self-created crap without the self-help fluffy bullshit. What's going on, boys and girls? How are you doing this fine Tuesday evening? It's a beautiful day outside. It was a gorgeous day. I got out there and did a walk and talk. So if you missed my walk and talk today, be sure to check out the YouTube video. The YouTube channel, you got to be on there. The YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/Christopher Rausch. Hello, Teresa. Teresa's in the house. She's like, what's up? She's like, hello. What's going on in Georgia? Go Dogs. What's going on? Yes, I think Teresa saw my walk and talk. I can't remember if you did or not, but I did my walk and talk today. Went out there, enjoyed the beautiful sunshine because I've created a life. I've created a kick-ass life for myself that affords me the opportunity to go do what I want to do when I want to do it. And we're going to be talking about that tonight. We're going to be talking about how to create your kick-ass unstoppable life. I get this asked for me quite a bit. I've done actually, to be honest with you, I've done a few shows on this, and I tell people they're already kind of done and they're like, no, I want to see a new one. So this is a good opportunity because right now, think about where we're at as the taping of this show. This show is live currently. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, this is the video cast portion of it. Think about it. Right now we are October 12th, 2021. October 12th, 2021. Where were you a year ago? What were you doing a year ago? I'll bet you, based on the conversations that I've been having with people lately, I bet you last year you were like, 2021 is going to be mine. 2021 is going to be mine. I am going to come out of the gate and I'm going to crush 2021. 2020 was bullshit. I'm going to leave that in the past. 2021 is going to be my bitch. And a lot of people I've talked to said, Chris, I can't believe it's already October. And what did you accomplish? What did you accomplish? Yes, October. For me, October is like the beginning of next year. That's like, for me, October is my January. Last year, I didn't do a great job on that, but this year, October is my January. So I sit there and I think about what do I need to do to prepare myself to be ready for January, because that's when we all start, right? We always start right after New Year's Eve, right after I, pile on a bunch of booze and bunch of booze and food. And then now I'm going to start taking my life seriously, right? We all do it. I mean, come on, just be fucking real. What's up? Randy's in the house. He says, good evening, my kick-ass brother. Randy, thank you so much for being here, man. I really appreciate you. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight, is how to create your kick-ass unstoppable life. Truth be told, this is something I've been working on. The content for this is part of a program. It's part of my 6-month group coaching program that I'm going to be starting January 11th. And I've been taking my time on this one. I've done group coaching programs in the past. I've done it with Scott Goyette. We did that one, the Go Love Now. We did the jump into it for a little bit. So I did that one. And, I've just been really passionate in these last 6 months in trying to determine how I can create an effective system. And I'm not creating anything that has not been done. Let's just be honest. If you read Think and Grow Rich, you'll be fine. Read a couple of books and apply those strategies. You're going to be fine. But what I've been working on is really trying to simplify the process of how we go from being fucked up to being kick-ass unstoppable. Yes, I can say that. This is my show, the Raw and Unscripted show. So how can we go from being all messed up? And some of the terms I've come up with is being comfortably miserable. My target client right now is somebody who is comfortably miserable. They've got a good paycheck. They're relatively happy. Everything's relatively consistent. It's okay. It's okay, but there's something missing. There's a fulfillment missing. There's a passion missing. There's a drive missing. Gay Hendricks in the book, The Big Leap, would talk about it as, are you operating in your zone of greatness, your zone of excellence, or your zone of genius? And that's what I do for people, is get them into their zone of genius, because that's the process that I've gone through. I've paved the road, so to speak, in my coaching and my ability to affect change with you guys by going through that and then teaching other people how to do that. So I've taken the last 2 years and really been building this content and building the process by which it all connects together, because I want to I will walk people through the steps of being able to say, okay, here you are at the decision tree. Are you happy or not? Okay, you're not happy. Okay, XYZ. Here's what you're going to do. Here are the questions you're going to ask yourself. Here are the exercises you're going to do. Here are the books you're going to read. Here are the things that you're going to discuss with your partners, with your friends, with your business partners, with everybody, so that you walk out of this program being a new person. Literally, you're going to shed your identity of who you were or who you thought you were, and you're going to really realize who you are and realize the unstoppable nature and the force that you really have within inside of yourself. I'm no different. Nobody else is different. It's just a matter of what it is we choose to execute on. What it is that we choose to execute on. What do we choose to focus on? Again, I'm gonna say something that's going to be very controversial right now. So I hope you're already here. I hope you're watching. If on the replay, you're going to catch this. But I'm going to say something really outlandish. But first, I'm going to say hi, Margaret. What's up, Margaret? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, sister. Got to catch up soon and see what you're up to, because 2022, I think 2022, April 22. I don't know why that date sticks in my brain, but yeah, I think it was April of 2022. I can't remember the exact date, but there's something special behind that. Mary Sterling's in the house. She says, good evening, Christopher Rausch. Good evening, Mary Sterling. Thank you so much for being here. Interested in hearing about the guitar lessons with your son. So I hope those went awesome. And he's shredding a little. I have no idea what to do with the guitar. I just hang them up behind me. So here's the controversial thing. I want you to write this down. Okay, you ready? I don't know how to tell you this, but yeah, I'm just going to tell you. You're going to die. I'm going to die. You're going to die. We all know we're going to die. But here's the funny thing. I've been talking about I've been talking to people about this lately. Sorry, I'm really excited. I'm really jazzed up because I want to present this to you. And I want to really impact your ability to look at 2022 and realize that could be the beginning of your journey, or that could be the continual decline of your journey. But when I've been talking to people lately, it's like, yeah, Chris, I know I'm going to die. And I'm like, do you realize you could die in 10 minutes? Do you realize you could die tomorrow? What would you say about your life as you were dying? Would you be proud of the decisions that you're making today? Would you be proud of the last 6 months that you wasted and did nothing and complained about it, or did a bunch of this? Well, when this happens. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I had a feeling the other day and it scared the living shit out of me. I know we're going to die. And I process that. I think about that a lot. That's my leverage in life, because I want to leave a legacy, and I will leave a legacy every single day that I'm alive, that you can check me. You can go back and look at my first broadcast probably. And I said, Christopher Rausch will have fought for what was right and what was fair. He will have risked for which that mattered. And he will have left the earth a better place for who he was and what he did. You go check all my social media posts. You go see everything that I'm doing. The legacy that I leave is congruent to that. And I want that for each and every one of you, because you see my posts, no regrets. I am dead fucking serious about that. I want that to be serious for you. What would be your biggest regret right now if you died tomorrow? What is it that you have not completed? What question are you avoid answering, that by which answering would change the trajectory of your life now? We don't make those decisions. Why? Because we want safety, we want certainty, we want comfort. Think about the biological nature of who we are. We used to be hunter-gatherers. We used to have to go out there and risk. We used to have to go out there and run from lions and do all that crazy shit. But now we don't. Now everything's just like, give it to me. I can just order it and give it, blah, blah, blah. We have to work for these things, ladies and gentlemen. We have to work for these things. And that's what I want to go through tonight. It's something that I've been working on, so it's not perfect. So don't start beating me up about this, but this is something I want to share with you guys. It's my model of walking people through what it takes to have a kick-ass life. So I want to show that to you. And then I'm going to talk about kind of the framework of what it is that we can do. All of us can do right now. This is not me about selling my coaching program. This is about me sharing the content of the program and you walking away with some nuggets tonight to be able to implement in your life now and look at as January is happening right now. So this is something I want to show you. I'm going to do a little screen print. So thank you guys for being here. Tom's in the house. What's up, Tom? Good to see you. I appreciate you guys being here, whether you're live or on the replay. I know a lot of you guys watch the replay. And of course, now, in case you didn't know, it is all available on podcast. The Raw and Unscripted show is all up to date. It's all on podcast. You can go to Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts at. You can subscribe to it, please. And if you dig this show, I would love a review. Thank you so much. I'm really working on increasing the exposure of this podcast. I really love doing this. So each and every week I bring this to you, and I just want to impact more people with this, because that's my legacy. I've been playing small a little bit, so it's time for me to take the next leap into impacting more lives. So that's what I want to do with you guys this evening. So thank you so much for being here. And again, if you have any questions, this is just you and I. We're just sitting here at a bar, coffee shop, wherever it is. You and I are hanging out. You're right there. If you have questions, you're like, hey, Chris, I'm struggling with this. If anything I'm talking about, by all means, reach out. My most My biggest intention with all of this is that we heal. We heal. Each one of us heals whatever component of us that's damaged, not damaged, bad word. Any part of us that needs to be healed, I want us to start healing that. And I want us to start projecting that out into society. I want us to make a difference in the world that we live in. There's a lot of people hurting right now. We're hurting. There's been moments where I've been hurting. We're all hurting. And it's up to us as a humanity to help heal one another, help heal ourselves, and create a kick-ass life that we're going to be excited about. That's the life I've created for myself, and I'm proud of it. And it's been not easy. Oh my God, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to share a couple of stories with you where I've had to implement a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about tonight. So without any further ado, I'm going to do a little screen share. I have not rehearsed this. So here we go. This is my little representation of life. So right here in the middle of this, I don't know if you guys can see this. I hope you can, but you're just at least going to have to understand and follow me. Right in the middle of this beautiful diagram is called the Kick-Ass Guide to Life, right? I call it the sweet spot. This is the spot that you get to the Kick-Ass Guide to Life. You got whatever it is that's most important to you. For me, freedom, financial freedom, freedom to do what I want, say what I want, be what I want, look what I want, go where I want. That's the most important thing. And money, fame, all that other shit, having 17 cars, having a house with 19 bathrooms in it, not important to me. Freedom is most important to me. So that's what I consider like the Kick-Ass Guide to Life, is like I have the freedom and the ability to go where I want, do what I want, buy what I want, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So what does that take? What does that take? Number one, it takes purpose right up here on the top. If you don't know what your purpose is, guess what? All of this stuff isn't going to matter. You got to know what your purpose is, because if you don't know what your purpose is, you're not going to have what I put down here is mindset mastery. So you need to know your purpose. You need to have mindset mastery in order to have your purpose, and vice versa. If you know your purpose, then you got mindset mastery because you're locked in on that shit. Just like I am. You can go back and check all my podcasts and everything else. Christopher Rausch will fight for what's right and what's fair. You guys got that. Over here, of course, I'm the no excuses coach. So without mindset mastery, your excuses are going to run wild. One of the biggest ones I hear lately is I don't feel like it, or I just don't know exactly what to do. I'm like, here's a tip for you guys. Google or YouTube. You can find out anything. That's the beauty. You want to just cut to the chase? The answers are right here. All the information you need right now to fix whatever it is or change whatever it is that's not working for you is right here, or it's in a library. All of the information, all of the answers, if you chose to go find them and explore them and act on them, you wouldn't have to spend a dime. It's all right in front of you. But we have excuses. And if we have excuses, what is our commitment going to be like? Our commitment's going to be shit. And if our commitment's shit, what are our results going to be? Our results are going to be shit, which is what? When our results aren't achieving the expectation that we have. Again, the expectation, is it realistic? Is it not? If we don't have the expectation and when our results aren't performing, guess what? Our passion's going to decline. Our fulfillment's going to not be there. So think about that. And when you go to that, think about accountability. This is one of the major reasons why people hire me as the coach. Obviously for the no excuses, but because I get results. But there's accountability. When you have leverage, when you invest in yourself into a program or something like that, it's amazing what it is that you will be accountable for. You think about it. When your parents put you through school, you didn't take too much of it seriously, but you went back to school. You're spending your hard-earned dollar. You want to go do your homework. You want to learn stuff. Accountability is massive. Accountability. That's why I did 75 hard again, because I have personal accountability. I've worked on it religiously my entire life to get where I'm at today. I went to school from 18 to 31, literally while working a job. I went to school. I did my study groups. I did everything. I did all accelerated because that's how bad I wanted it. So I had the accountability. If you don't have accountability to yourself and to the things in your life, your certainty, what is your certainty going to be? Your certainty is going to be shit because your accountability is not there. Your significance, your level of significance, if you're not feeling certain about things, your self-worth and your value and your confidence is going to decline. And again, with the legacy, if you're not feeling significant and you're not feeling that there's a legacy that you're going to be fulfilling, what's going to be happening with your kick-ass life? What's going to be happening? And again, going down here to the responsibility side, we're going to talk about this heavily here just in a second. So you got to take responsibility. If you're not taking responsibility to be accountable and to have your commitment to know your purpose and to have mindset mastery, your responsibility, what are you going to be? You're going to be a victim. I'm actually looking at my monitor in case you wanted to know why I keep looking over there. You're going to be either a victim or a victor. And most likely you're going to be a victim. You're going to be blaming. Oh, this is why it's not working out. It's because of this. It's because of that. It's because of this. It's because of technology. It's because I don't have this. It's because of this. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit. You have everything. You just have to be resourceful. You just have to be resourceful. There's a little nugget for you. Get resourceful, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're feeling like a victim, are you going to have any discipline? What is your discipline going to be? You know what? My wife and I were talking about it. She says she's got this voice in her head that says, fuck it. It's like, fuck it. Fuck it. So if your discipline is not there, guess what? Where's your integrity? Where's your integrity? Think about this. Think about all of this. So when you go backwards and you think about, like, for me, I know my purpose. I know my passion. I've already said it before. So I've got my purpose. So I'm mindset mastery. So now this is where the rubber meets the road, is being able to have that mindset mastery to make those difficult decisions, to really see the forest for the trees, to be able to really understand that what it is that we do right now is the most important factor, or what it is that's going to equal our results later on. So what it is that you're focusing on? Do you wake up every single day with the intention of kicking ass and rock and rolling? Or do you wake up like, I just got to get through the day so I can get a vacation, so I can run away from my life? Or do I just have to get up and get through the next 4 days so I can drink for the rest of the weekend and eat and shop and watch Netflix or do whatever it is that my short-term gratification is, right? So think about that. You got to have mindset mastery. For me, that's paramount. And that's what I teach. And again, it goes back to the excuses. What excuses you're giving yourself? I don't give myself excuses. If I find myself giving myself excuses, I'm sitting there and go, okay, what do I need to learn from what it is that I'm telling myself right now? What is it that I need to learn from what it is that I'm telling myself right now? Again, you have to be able to have those conversations with yourself. You have to be able to have tools in place to realize what it is that you can do to dig yourself out of that. And we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. So again, thinking about that, my commitment, my accountability, my responsibility, all of these areas, I'm not going to go back into them. You see how they tie in. You see how they're all part of the components of what it is that make us truly have a kick-ass life. So that's my intention in sharing that with you guys, is because it's all interrelated. It's all part of that flow. It's all part of where it is, where your focus goes, your energy flows. So again, we were talking about it a couple of days ago. I can't remember where we were talking about the reticular activation system. So if your beliefs and your views are set in such a way, guess what? Your conscious and your subconscious are going to work together to find validation, to find proof for that stuff to be real. So again, when you're thinking about having a kick-ass life and you're thinking about taking responsibility for yourself and really going through and doing the things that you think are painful or are going to be challenging or are going to be hard, or what if I fail, or what if I make a mistake? If you have all that shit in your brain, guess what? You're going to find more validation to prove that. Oh, see, there I go again. We're going to talk heavily in this program about what it is that you say to yourself and how to reframe your perspective from this to this. And it's not that hard. It's not that hard. The outcome of the results that you have to do, yes, could be challenging. Of course, when you make a decision to change what it is that you've been doing that hasn't been working, of course, there's going to be uncertainty. But in uncertainty, you will create confidence. For me, I know that whatever happens, I don't want to go through it. I don't want to deal with it. But I know that I'm strong enough now that I can have the perspective like, okay, what is this teaching me? Fuck, I don't want to have to be learning more lessons. I don't want to learn any more lessons. As a matter of fact, I was just talking about this on the last couple of shows, and I keep referring it to people because if you haven't watched it, go to YouTube, again, free, watch the documentary Finding Joe. It's the story about Joseph Campbell and the hero's journey. A buddy of mine was talking about it the other day, and he's like, fuck, Chris, I don't want to go through any more journeys, and I've done these things, and I feel like I've learned my lessons, but I keep having these things crop up, and I'm like, the pain won't go away until you learn the lesson. I just heard that the other day. The pain won't go away until you learn the lesson. So it's going to keep knocking. It's going to keep knocking. It's going to knock louder and louder and louder and louder. You know, I call it rock bottom 1 and rock bottom part 2. We're going to talk about that here in a second. So think about that. Finding Joe, Joseph Campbell's hero's journey. We have to have the perspective that, okay, we're going to continue to learn lessons through our life. You're going to continue to learn lessons. I'm going to continue to learn lessons. And I believe this. I believe this to be true, and I found it to be true. As you're going through those challenges and those struggles, you finally do get to a spot where you're like, I made it. For me, it was when I bought this house, when my wife and I moved into this house. It was crazy what a huge chapter of my life ended the night before my mom passed away. And then we got this beautiful house and we started making renovations to it. And it was like, wow, I made it. I've got a 3-car garage. I've got a pool. Oh my God, I made it. And then other things started happening. Infertility issues and going through all that stuff, going through the adoption process. We had a lot of trials and tribulations through those years that were very, very challenging mentally, physically, spiritually on both of us and our marriage. But I thought I made it. But here was like, God's source universe was like, here's your next round, buddy. You think you're strong now. You think you got that tattoo on your forearm that says, what doesn't kill me makes you stronger. Yes. Thank you, Teresa. I will catch you on the replay. Thank you so much for being here. Teresa's saying I got to hop on. So we have to think about this. We have to take responsibility for ourselves. And I appreciate each and every one of you being here tonight. It's really super important. And again, going with the let me capture some comments here, and then I'm going to go into what I've recently touched upon that is very simplistic, and it's a way to walk you through personally where it is that you're in your life and kind of ask some questions. I'm going to give you some questions to write down, but I want to capture some of these comments. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are rock stars. I love you. Misfits for life. Let's see. Tom says shared. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Hey, by the way, if this is impacting you, I should probably create one of those banners. If this is impacting you, please share that. Please share this. Thank you, Tom, so much, brother. I appreciate you. Tom says here, what holds us back is a lack mentality, not fear. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you don't believe in abundance, if you don't believe you deserve, if you're not starting with self-love and realizing that you have to pour into your own bucket. Yeah, absolutely, Tom. I had that same lack mentality for a while until I had my coach back in 2019. 6 months in 2019. Wow, boy, did she kick my ass. It was scarcity mindset. It was more, I was like operating out of a core of fear rather than a core of confidence. And so we worked on that. And that's what I get to teach all you guys. What's up, Robert? Robert's in the house. He says, greetings, everybody. Thank you so much. Tom says, I am hitting home runs. I'm not even playing baseball, Tom. I'm not even playing baseball. Am I playing baseball, guys? Am I playing baseball? I don't know. No, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. This is honestly just from the heart. This is just from the heart because I am dead serious about helping certain individuals. I'm dead serious about not helping other people anymore. To be quite honest, this is just transparent. I'm raising my standard on the quality of clients that I would like to work with. I tend to want to help everybody and everyone, but I'm finding that I'm really quite a unique coach, and I'm finding that my stride is working with people who are super ready to really accomplish what it is that they say they want to accomplish and not just pay a coach to say that they're getting coached. I'm not saying anybody in particular, but no, I'm just messing with you guys. So Tom says discipline, most lack it. Yes. So what do you think we could do to get more discipline, Tom? What are a couple of things? Hey, we got Kellen in the house. What's up, Kellen? Good to see you. She says, hey, kiss ass friend. I'm not a kiss ass friend. Come on, Kellen. Kick ass friend. Thank you so much for being here. And yes. Margaret says down here, she goes, I feel like I made it and I'm curious about the chapter. I feel like I've made it and I'm curious about the chapter. Oh yeah. The chapter. Yeah. It's going to change. New shit's going to open up. We got Sherry in the house. What's up, Sherry? Thank you for being here. Sherry's in the house. So let's just talk about this. So yeah. And again, if you guys have any questions for me, and if you're going through something, let's light it up, and I'll be happy to answer. We can just turn this into a coaching strategy session. Of course. So the first thing we need to do, quite honestly, is we need to become aware. We're going to be talking about awareness. So where is it that you're at right now? And the question you can ask yourself, really, I keep it on my monitor. What are you creating? What are you creating in this moment? What are you creating when you wake up in the morning? What day are you creating? What life are you creating? What outcomes are you creating? Or are you just in survivor mode? You have to think about where it is, what you're creating. And you have to ask yourself in these moments, are the decisions and the choices that I'm making, are those getting me closer to or further from my stated goal? Again, going back to what I was talking about before, purpose. If you know what your purpose is, that's like your true north. You can sit there and ask yourself in those situations, is this getting me closer to or further from my true purpose? And then answer yourself honestly. And again, with awareness, you have to be truthful. I can't emphasize this enough. You have to stop fucking lying to yourself. It's amazing the people I talk to, and they tell themselves these stories. And they tell me, I know these stories aren't true, Chris, but I keep telling myself. And I'm like, how's that working out for you? You keep telling you these stories. How about we tell different stories? How about we rewrite what it is your perspective of the truth really is about a situation that happened, God knows how many years ago. So many people are beating themselves up again and again and again. You have to be aware. You have to become aware of the language that you're using on yourself. You have to become aware and ask yourself, when did it become okay to become mediocre? When did it become okay to let myself go? When did it become okay to not love myself enough? These are some tough questions you have to ask yourself. And that's what we're going to do in the group coaching program is ask tough questions. I don't care. I want you to cry. I want you to break down. I want you to have those breakthrough moments and be sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want to go down in history as the guy that got people to unfuck themselves because they're awesome people. And in that process, that they went out there and made the world a better place for who it is that they were and did. They got excited about their passion, their gifts. Are you excited about your passion and your gifts? Do you even know what your gifts are? Or are you just still operating, like Tom said, in that level of mediocrity and that scarcity? There is so much abundance out there. It's about changing what it is that you're focusing on, the vibrational energy. I was just talking with somebody yesterday, Sarah Tynan. She's going to be a guest on the show. Crazy stuff we're going to be talking about, but she's talking about frequencies. And when you start getting in that frequency, like where I'm at right now, my frequency right now is high energy, right? Am I convincing? Do you think I'm lying? Do you think I'm like putting this on? No, my frequency is like here. Back when I was in corporate, my frequency was right here. It was okay, comfortably miserable, good money, blah, 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 safe, blah, 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 predictable, blah, 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 blah. Not a legacy builder. Oh yeah, he worked at a job for 26 years. Sorry, he's gone. No, those people don't even care about me. 26 years, no problem, chapter closed. Who cares about you? Do you care about you? Do you love you enough to be honest and truthful and to cut open some fucking deep wounds and get ready to heal? I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm going to say it's worth it because I've lived it. Former seventh grade homeless dropout, living in the backseat of a station wagon. I mean, my story is crazy. And now I have a master's degree and all these beautiful things in my life. I didn't win the lottery. It wasn't like I was an overnight success. I busted my ass every fucking day. I don't bust my ass every single day. I don't want you to quote me on that shit, but you know what I mean? I'm constantly working towards something. I'm not constantly looking for the next level because I'm aware that time is very precious. Time is super precious. God, if I could get that. Here's another funny story. We talk about time all the time in reference of you don't know when you're going to die. And I've said it on this show many times. I've said it on Clubhouse. I'm like, a plane could crash into my house. I could slip down the stairs. I could have an aneurysm. All sorts of things can happen. And that's no joke. That really isn't. When you say goodbye to somebody, that really could be the last time you say goodbye. Think about that. Yesterday in San Diego, California, a plane crashed into a house. Guess what? People died. That happens. I live under now a flight path. Why can't I talk today? Flight path. It can happen. Anything can happen. Time is the most precious commodity. If you guys follow Dennis Waitley at all, Dennis Waitley, The Psychology of Success, one of the grandfathers in personal development. I've been listening to lately his audiobook, and he talks about in there that he would give all of his wealth, all of his fame, everything back for one more year of life. I can't remember, I think he's 88. He says, I would give everything back for one more year of life, one more year with my grandkids, one more year to teach them. That's powerful, ladies and gentlemen. Another year. And I'm talking to myself. I like to have my Jack Daniels. I like to have my pizza. I still take great care of myself, but there are certain nuances that I really could tighten up in order to make sure that I get that extra year. Because I would hate to pass away knowing that Jackson and his wife were expecting a baby. And because I didn't take care of myself, I wasn't going to be there to be a grandfather. Think about that. That's scary. That is scary. There's no guarantees that I can be there. But I tell you what, the fact of what I'm focusing on and living vibration and being confident and being happy and having inner peace, I'm 10 years younger than I was when I was working in corporate and sitting on the traffic and trying to figure out how I was going to do the next board meeting and all this other stuff. I'm getting younger. I'm getting healthier. I'm 52 years old. One of the best shapes of my life, with my intention of living to 120. Why not? Technology, medical advances are going to be there, but I'm not going to get there if I have the belief that I'm going to die tomorrow. I'm not going to get there tomorrow if I think that the world's coming to an end. I'm not going to get there. No. When you think about life, wherever you're at in your journey, do this little math. 78, the average life expectancy. So I'm 52. Do the math. That's scary shit, right? So think about that. We have to make sure that we're giving the value to the moment that it really deserves. Because you think about the last 10 years. Where were you 10 years ago? Where were you 5 years ago? Oh, that was 20 years ago. I'm like, God, I can't even believe that. I heard somebody say the other day, it was 30 years ago. I'm like, what are you going to be doing in the next 30 years? Dead. They just were a matter of fact, like, wow, I'm 60 or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, So think about that. Use leverage, ladies and gentlemen. Get yourself out of your comfort zone. Stop ignoring, stop lying to yourself, and become aware. You have to become aware. And after awareness, let me just check and see what kind of comments we have here, because I want to make sure I grab your comments and see what you guys are saying up here. Yes. Sherry said, hey, Sherry. Let's see. Next chapter. Yes. Yes. Margaret's talking about the next chapter. Absolutely. Chapters, sections. It's crazy. It's crazy how life just all of a sudden just something ends and something starts. It's amazing when you have that vibrational energy and you're ready for it. You tell the universe, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to. We're gonna have a little exercise. I'm gonna show you something in a little bit. So yes. Sherry says I'm in thriving mode. Kick ass, rock and roll, baby. Yes. Why are you in thriving mode? Tell us the secret why you're in thriving mode. Share with us. She says here, I'm excited. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control. And see, that's what happens when you have the energy. That's when it happens when you don't care what people think of you. Here I am on the Raw and Unscripted show doing my thing. And you guys are here with me. So thank you so much for being here. I'm just being me. I want you to be you. It's amazing what happens. It's taken me a long time to get here. Tom says, don't leave this earth with regrets. No. Don't die with your music in you. You know, I had to remind myself of this the other day. And this is no bullshit. I'm being straight with you guys. Embarrassingly, I admitted to somebody, and I have no problem saying this, but it is a little bit embarrassing. I promised my mentor last year during COVID, when I was really kind of had all the time in the world in a way, that my book, the one that she really suggested that I do, I said I would have it done by next May, this last May. It was last year. Still not done. I have no reason why it's not done. I mean, I have also stupid little things in my brain. So the other day I kind of realized when I thought about that, don't die with your music in you. If I knew that I was if I got cancer or whatever, and I had 2 months to live, guess what would get done? That fucking book. Leverage, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just being real with you. I'm being real with you. I know the questions to ask. I know the ways to ask them because I'm doing it with myself right here and right now. And that's why I'm doing this group coaching program. Because I was like, I have so much content all over the place for so many years that I keep taking these notes. I'm like, I'm going to put this all together and I'm going to put a bow on it and I'm going to make it to where everybody can get it because I'm not dying with my music in me. No. Yes. Robert says here, he goes, you could tell I learned long ago about the frequency scale. Absolutely. Margaret sharing here, she goes, I feel like my purpose is to be an uplifter and I do that for my team. I lead at work and the people I meet in life. And you do an awesome job. You're an uplifter. You're an uplifter. But here's a question. Here's a question for all of us to ask. I'm an uplifter, but do I uplift myself? Do I pour into my bucket as well? Or am I pouring into everybody else's buckets, hoping to get those little validation and the significance and, hey, you're doing a good job. And hey, you're such a great leader. And hey, you're such a great this and da-da-da-da. Are we uplifting ourselves? And I find a lot of people, when they answer that question, honestly, they have to say no. They have to say no. I was an uplifter. I was a people pleaser. Yes. So it's about having that self-awareness. Again, that's what we're talking about, awareness. How much time we got? Okay. I might have to talk a little faster. You want me to? I know you don't want me talking faster. Tom says, next to your health, time is the most valuable asset you have. Paramount. I have talked to people who have had COVID and they're like, Chris, the realization I have about just being able to take a breath unassisted, that I can call somebody and say, hey, listen, I'm sorry. Hey, I love you. It's amazing. It's amazing. And unfortunately, we do have to hit those rock bottoms sometimes. We have to have the shit slapped out of us to go, hey, wake up. And I'm right there with you guys. I'm waking up. I'm making sure. And so that's why I'm so passionate about it. Yes. Thank you guys so much for your comments and everything. So what is after awareness? So we have to be aware. And then what do we have to do? Then we have to accept. We have to become aware and then we have to accept. And that acceptance, here's the key factor about acceptance, is people will accept that they're in the situation they're in and they'll do one of two things. They will blame someone else or something else, or they will take responsibility. So in that point of being in acceptance, like, okay, so here's an example. Actually, I'll give you the example after we go through the last part. So you have to take responsibility. You can't be blaming anymore. And here's the thing. I was talking with somebody the other day, coaching client, and they said, they were talking about their past. And I said, you know what? It wasn't your fault. What happened was not your fault. You were there. You can sit there and theorize in your brain, but it was not your fault. Now, here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. It is your fault if you continue in that victim mindset. If you continue playing that same tape over and over again, like I talked about before, the insanity tape, then that's your responsibility. And if you're miserable, you need to go look in the mirror and say, it's my responsibility. I'm miserable. I'm the one making these choices. I'm the one that's staying stuck. I'm the one that's not trying to get the answers. I'm not the one investing myself. That stops today. That shit stops today. And then you high five yourself in the mirror. I've been listening to Mel Robbins, her new book. You got to high five yourself in the mirror. I'll be talking about that. You have to ask yourself the question, when did it become acceptable to hold myself back? Where along in your journey did you say, it's okay for me to come in second? It's okay for me not to do for myself. It's okay to not take responsibility. Boy, could I tell you story after story after story about the people I've met who just swore they weren't going to take responsibility. It's not my fault. I don't care what you say, Chris. And I'm like, well, commit to a life of misery and then come back here on this joyous spinning blue marble and repeat your life again to continue to learn the lesson that you are not learning right now. Because I believe that. I believe that we're here having experiences and there are lessons to be learned. And the sooner we learn them, the sooner we get on to the next stage or whatever it might be. I'm game. Let's do it. Let's do it. I don't want to get to the end of my journey and realize how powerful or how impactful I could have really been. So that's what it is. That's what it is that we have to do. We have to sit there and ask ourselves, here's another great question. Write this one down. And I came up with this, I think today on my walk. What question am I avoiding asking myself that by which if I answered truthfully would change the trajectory of my life? Again, what question am I not asking myself that by which answering truthfully would change the trajectory of my life? Think about that. So we got to be aware, right? We have to accept, and then we have to take action. Ooh, action. Action. I want to share something with you. We got to take action. You know why? Because we'll have regrets. And we were talking about that. So we got to take action. We got to sit there and change what it is that we're focusing on. We have to change, like Dr. Wayne Dyer says, when you change what it is that you're focusing, wait a minute. Fuck. When you change what you focus on change. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Sorry. Yeah. Dr. Wayne Dyer, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at begin to change. And one of the most impactful 2-minute videos of my life, and you guys heard me talk about it, and I'm going to play it here because I want you to see it. I want you to watch it because I know some people don't go click on it, but here's the deal. When you really truly want to live life, not exist in it. This is not a game. This is not a dress rehearsal. I'm 52 years old. I consider myself like, okay, I'm on borrowed time in a way, not healthy wise, but everything else, but just like, I don't want to take time for granted. And when I was sitting there thinking about leaving my corporate job and I was doing my coaching and my speaking and I was comfortably miserable, thinking, okay, when am I actually going to make the jump? And then my coach said, here, I want you to watch this. So I'm going to share with you because I want this message to be so impactful for you that you guys really get what it is that I'm saying, because I want this to, if nothing else, cause you to answer the question that I've been asking you guys tonight and take action on what it is that you want to take responsibility for and become resourceful. Let me see if I can do this right here. All right. I hope you guys can hear this. Let's just go with this.
Okay, here's the deal. If you want to be successful, here's the thing you have to do. You have to jump. There is no way around. You have to jump. Every successful person has jumped. You got to jump. You got to take a leap of faith. You got to dash off that cliff, and you got to jump out there as far as you can. Now, a lot of times you stand on the cliff of life, and you see other people soaring by, gliding down like a bird flying through the air. You know, they going over to the south of France. You see them on boats somewhere. You see their family vacationing here, their family vacationing there. You see them dressing like this. You see them in New York, and you see them in London. They flying by. You know why? It's because their parachute open. But the only way to get your parachute to open so you can soar, you got to jump. Now here's the problem. Here's the problem, my friends. When you jump, I can assure you one thing. You listening? I promise you this. Your parachute will not open right away. No. That's the fear part. I promise you, your parachute will not open right away. You're gonna hit them sides in the rocks. You're gonna tear your back out on the cliff. You're gonna cut yourself. You're gonna get wounded. You're gonna get some tears and stuff like that. But eventually, parachute will open, and then you'll be sold. But here's the other caveat, and I'm teaching this right here. If you do not jump, I promise you one thing: your parachute will never open. So you're safe, but you'll never sold. You got to jump.
You got to jump. You got to jump. One of the most impactful videos I have ever seen. I still love it to this day. It still reminds me that your parachute will never open unless you jump. What's up? Ray's in the house. Ray, good evening, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Ray knows all about this video. He hears me talk about it all the time because this is what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. Is 2022 going to be your time to jump? Jump from the relationship, jump from the job, jump from the addictions, jump from the bullshit. What is it that you need to jump from? And here's an exercise I want you to do. Here's something simple that you can totally do. It's an exercise I have all my clients do. What are you tolerating? It's massively important. I've been sharing this out with a lot of people. I've been doing my complimentary coaching sessions as well, still giving those out. What are you tolerating? Take a list. What are you tolerating from yourself? What are you tolerating from others? What are you tolerating in general? And think about all the shit that you just take on. Think about that. Think about all the stuff you put up with. And now I ask you another question. How would you feel? What would be your outcomes if you didn't have 50% of those tolerations carrying around with you? How would you feel? How would you respond? How would you act if you knew with absolute passion and certainty what your purpose is? What would you do if you had mindset mastery? If you were able to have the perfect mindset, be able to call yourself out on your own bullshit? How would you feel? I ask myself all the time. It's so true. So you got to think about being aware of what the situation you're in. You have to be able to accept where you're at, and then you have to be able to take action. Right? So think about this. I'm going to share a story with you that takes in all three of these things. So way back in the old days, I was married to a beautiful woman named Tammy. Got married when I was 18, and we got married too young. Lots of different things happened. Our marriage went through struggles and tribulations, and I got to a point where I had to become aware. I had to become aware that this was not going to work. As bad as I wanted it to work, as much as I did not want to give up, I had to become aware that there was problems that potentially may not get us through and stay married. So I had to become aware. So I became aware, and I started looking, and I started telling myself lies. Oh, that's just this. That's just that. Started making excuses, blah, 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 because I was afraid. Okay, what if I'm going to be alone? Tammy was the first girl I was really with after I was homeless. And she took care of me. She was a sweetheart. She cooked. I mean, her parents were amazing. And here I was being aware that the relationship was in challenge, that we were young, that we were growing apart and we were becoming different. But then I had to accept it. I had to really accept it. I had to come to grips with saying, okay, this isn't going to work. I can hope, wish, and pray. I could keep trying, but we're just two different people. So I had to accept it. And at that point I had to accept, okay, am I willing to work hard enough to try to save it? Or am I willing to accept the fact that it's just better to end it now for the both of us so we can move on with our lives? Obviously not an easy choice, not an easy discussion, especially for me. You know, the previous 4 years of my life, I was homeless and had a bunch of shit happen. And now I've got this beautiful person and we have an apartment, we have nice things, we have a furniture, we have bills, you know, her family, our friends. I have built so much, but I had to come to the point where I accepted what was going on. And so then you have to take action. And I remember it. We actually split up. I was willing to do the work. We actually were separated for, I can't remember, 6, 8 months, 9 months. So we were separated, lived separately, and then got back together and said, let's try this. And unfortunately it didn't work. And I had to accept that. And so one day I came home and I said, you know what? Is this working for you? And she was thinking the same thing. She was having the same things go on in her brain. So we both became aware and we both accepted, and then we had to take action. And God, that was tough. That was super tough. You know, figuring out the splitting everything up, you know, going through that at such a young age. But now she's happy and I'm happy. But if we had never become aware, if we had been, you know, self-indulgent in our addictions or whatever else, and just said, oh, okay, we got married, we said forever, you know, don't want to disappoint people, and it's good enough, where would we be? Where would we be? So there's a situation of that. I've had situations in my life where I've drank too much. And so again, the awareness, the acceptance, and then the action. When I thought I drank too much and my friends had an intervention with me, I'm like, all right. So from that point on, I made a decision and I said, listen, for the first 2 months of the year, I'm not going to drink. So from January until my birthday, February 26th, essentially 2 months, I picked it and I said, okay, I'm going to take action on this. I'm going to take action on this because what is this supposed to teach me? What am I supposed to learn from this experience by not drinking? What is it that I'm avoiding and I'm running away from? That was pivotal for me. That was pivotal. It's like, okay, now I need to understand that I can go to a bowling alley and not have a beer. And so it caused me to do the inner work. It caused me to read books. It caused me to go to therapy. It caused me to have coaches. It caused me to invest in programs because I wanted to figure out what it is that I could do to better myself, because I was not going to be a victim. I was not going to be held down. No way, no how. And so from being aware, from accepting it, and from taking action, I got healthier. I proved to people that I didn't have a drinking problem. Not to say it's been perfect ever since. I mean, people will still tell you to this day, oh, yeah. And that's fine because I'm not going to be perfect. And I accept and I love myself for that. I'm not going to make everybody happy with everything that I do. It's just not going to happen. And if I don't make you happy more than I make you happy, then you have to make a decision. Think about that. Is the person you're with, do they make you happier or do they make you more sad? Most of the time. There's a question, right? Some people are stuck. I'm not saying you're stuck, but I'm saying some people are stuck in that mindset of that comfortability, that certainty. Oh, this is what I deserve. This is what I should accept. Don't rock the boat. Don't ask more. All that other shit that we were told when we were kids. All that childhood conditioning. We have to rewrite that stuff. Otherwise, you're going to have regrets. Otherwise, you're not going to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to wake up in the morning with that power of that intention, that purpose. Again, like we talked about with the model I showed you. Purpose, mindset mastery, commitment, accountability, responsibility, fulfillment, certainty, all those different things go together. They all go together. And it all starts with the script that you have in your mind from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to sleep. There you go. I'm your life coach. So what do you guys think? What, Angel's in the house? What's up, Angel? She says, absolutely great to see you, Angel. Thank you so much. You're a rock star. I appreciate you. Robert says here, he says, learning to not care what other thinks of you is very freeing. It is. And not to say that, for a while I was quoting like, I'm zero fucks to give. I don't fucking care if you like me. Da, 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 da. Come on, let's be real. We want people to like us. It's okay if they don't, but it's okay to want people to like you. So, but for me, I am in flow. I have been flow. Sometimes I think, I want to be all things to all people. And then some days I think, like I just posted a couple weeks ago, I'm like, if you spread hate, fuck you, you fucking fuck. It's like, don't spread hate. So there are times where I'm going to be a little bit more vocal. I am raising my standard on the people I'm going to work with and the people that I'm going to allow into my circle. Because I've met a lot of people over this last 18 months, a lot of interesting gentlemen and ladies. And I think it's just time for me just to keep excelling, keep growing. Not waiting for other people to jump on board. Just keep going, Chris. Just keep going. Rock and rolling. What is it that you have to become aware of next? What is the thing you have to accept next? What is the thing you have to take action on next, Chris? It's never going to end. Not for me, the No Excuses Coach. Not for you, nobody else. It's when we get real. It's when we have those truthful conversations with ourselves. Again, some of the questions I'm going to ask you, go back if you didn't see the beginning of this, go back and watch it from the start. I promise you it'll be worth it for you. So if this speaks to you, because I have been talking about my group coaching program, if it speaks to you, go to my website, ChristopherRausch.com, in case you don't know how to spell that. Here, we'll just put that right there. Go there. You can see a coaching tab, group coaching. Go down there, check it out. If you're at all interested, I haven't even put the price up there, but I want people who are interested, who don't care about the price. So if you put your name in there and I think it says apply here, it's your name, email, and some words or something like that. Let me know, because seriously, I'm going to take care of the people who are ready now. The program starts January 11th, but I'm just telling you guys on the Raw and Unscripted show, the people who are true misfits for life, if you're ready, go fill that out. I'm not going to charge. There's no charging. I just want to know that people are fucking ready, because we're going to get started now. For those people who are ready in my close circle, we're going to get started now. You don't have to pay me. Not until January 11th. Well, you got to put a deposit down or something like that. Come on. I'm not ridiculous. Oh, man. I love you guys. I love you. So there you have it. What is it that you're going to do? What is it that you need to jump on? What is it that you need to jump off of? And here's the other thing. Because you guys are amazing, because you are beautiful people. If you are in a space of abundance, if you have your gifts and you're sharing them and you feel free and you're on top of the world and you have that kick-ass life that I told you about, if you have that, please, 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 please go help other people. Do what you can financially, do what you can mentally, spiritually, physically. Let's make this world a better place for who we are and what we do. Here's my vision. You talk about when I keep pointing to the model I showed you guys. When I think about my purpose, part of my purpose now, in addition to that legacy, is that I'm an advocate that we write the history books for my son's kids. I don't think we have enough time for his history books in high school, maybe, depending on when they're printed. But my goal is that together we write history in such a way that my son, when I'm a grandfather, says, "Hey, Dad, little Elvis just came back from 6th grade and he's reading the history book about what happened." I get chills. I tell you, I get chills. That little Elvis, I call him little Elvis, because that's what I can. Little Elvis came back from 6th grade and was reading the history book about what happened back when I was 5 years old, when it was 2020 and it was 2021 and it was 2022. And you guys were heading up into the next election year, 2024. Little Elvis said how everybody got together and stopped the bullshit. How everybody just stopped listening to the news and the media and just went outside and had conversations with one another and helped one another and said, "Hey, listen, I don't understand where you're coming from. I don't get it. But you know what? I want to listen." Seek first to understand, then to be understood, ladies and gentlemen. We have an opportunity. So if you're abundant right now, please go out there and seek first to understand. I'm doing a better job of it here on the Raw and Unscripted show. I'm going to be inviting guests on here more and having those conversations because I have been ignoring it as well. So together we can be the change that we want to see. Together we can make the history books represent something better, that we didn't monkey fuck our world into oblivion with climate change and everything else that's going on. That we didn't. Please, I'm asking you guys that. So if you're abundant, if you want to help, go. Of course, I got this one too. Go. You guys know I'm involved. Help Heal Humanity. HelpHealHumanity.org. It's an amazing organization. I just did a special broadcast with Serena, who just came back from Haiti. Oh my God, you got to hear the story. I just did that broadcast. I think it was last week. Go check it out. HelpHealHumanity.org. It's an amazing organization. Again, if you have abundance, please share. And again, share if this is impacting you. Share if this spoke to you. I would appreciate you guys. I love you guys, whether it's live or on the replay. I appreciate each and every one of you. Reach out to me if you've never had one of the complimentary coaching sessions. I will send you the link and you get on my calendar and we'll make it happen. Margaret says here, she goes, "Love your model. Sounds like I have to join your group. I've become more aware of what I've been tolerating." Yeah. Yes, Margaret. Come on in. Go over to that website. You got to fill out the application. It's like 3 things. But you're in. Robert says, what's up? As soon as I learn how to open the road for dollars to my bank account, you'll know about it. Right on. Get resourceful, brother. Get resourceful. Sell shit. Go out there and you got to do it. You got to just do it. If I wanted something bad enough right now, I know I would be like fucking working Lyft and Uber and Uber Eats. I would be tearing that shit up. I would fucking be not sleeping and doing that stuff. You can make it. I mean, there's lots of stuff you guys could do. You either have excuses, God damn, I can't talk tonight. I'm excited. Either you have excuses or you have regrets. Tom says, "Go full speed ahead and your draft will pull those trailing. Will get them to the finish line." Absolutely, Tom. You're a rock star. I appreciate you, man. Been just getting to know Tom more and more. He's been on the show. Love to share my wake regret story. Well, definitely, man. We'll have to do that. On the down low or on the DM, not the down low. No down low about that. Tom says, "Let's try again. Love to share the regret story. My wake up call." I love it, man. So again, reach out to me. Let me know how this show impacted you privately. I would love to know that again in the comments. I appreciate you guys. We'll be back here next Tuesday with a very special guest. Does anybody know who Ken Walls is? Ken Walls is going to be on the Raw and Unscripted show. Long overdue. Ken and I have known each other since the beginning of COVID, back when we started doing a broadcast with Glenn Morshower and Ken and Joe Ingram and Pamela Aubrey and some other folks. That's how my Friday night show, The Unfiltered Experience, got started. It was out of that. So yeah, so Ken Walls is going to be on the show. He's got an amazing book, Breaking Down Walls, I believe it's called. We're going to be talking about addictions and life and just being a survivor and a thriver and a kick-ass guy. So tune in next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Put it on your calendar. As always, I do these posts. You can see what's going on there. And here's another thing for you in case you didn't know. Go to ChristopherRausch.com. I have a tab called the event. It's called Events. You go there on my calendar. It shows where I'm speaking in Clubhouse. It shows my Friday night show. It shows this show. It shows anything else that I'm doing. So if you're ever wondering what Chris has going on for the shows, go check the events page on ChristopherRausch.com. And of course, sign up for the newsletter because we never know how social media is, right? We saw Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram go down. And I was like, oh my God, if I lost contact with all those people, I'd be fucked. I would just hate it. So again, if you're not on there, go fill out the newsletter. I haven't even sent one out in months, so don't even worry about me spamming you. But I will be sending out more blogs and I'm going to be doing more stuff like that. So that's going to be my one channel that I'm going to give those people that stuff. So if you're on there, you get it. And all right, go out there and have a fantastic night. I'm going to go have some food, spend some time with my family. I love you guys, each and every one of you. Please take care of yourself, take care of one another, and we'll see you here next time on the Raw and Unscripted Show. I'm Christopher Rausch, your No Excuses coach. Peace.